Captain's Log, episode 92. This week's episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective, home bar to yours truly, Captain Porter Brown Stout. On this 5-pour episode, Beer Wonder, Huck, and Captain recap Stoutapalooza, mourn the loss of some of our favorite NYC tap rooms, check in on the Fresno scene, and tease out some of our future plans. It sounds more mysterious than it actually is. Or, maybe less? Listen to the episode, and you can decide. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate. And send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 92, Be Fucking For Real?
With a beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers, with a beer Vengers, with a beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers, with a beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, I am Captain Porter Brown Stout.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in Fresno, California, this is the Pale Male, Hophead Huck.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the County of Kings, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
And we are
The
Yeah, that's right. We're the Beer Vengers. You're the Beer Vengers. And welcome to episode 92.
Oh my God.
Of this. Yeah, 92. 92 over the last little more than 3 years. Back again for another one. Just the three of us. Might be another one of those fun themeless ones, unless we can find a theme in there somewhere. If you're listening and you hear a theme that we didn't hear, you can tell us. Are there any other options? Is that
Call in and let us know.
Yeah, tweet or X at us now. Is that what we're doing? We're Xing, not tweeting anymore.
No, we're not doing either one of those things.
Well, yeah, but I don't know what the verb of that is today. Like tweet.
Sure, but there are plenty.
But, like,
other,
what do you
other,
do?
I don't know. That's another reason why we shouldn't use it.
Fair.
Because it's crap. And Elon Musk is bullshit. That's one of our non-apolitical things that we can say. I think.
Right? Is this online with the like Black Lives Matter, fuck Trump?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. We just add
genocide is bad. I could add that one to the list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess the best way to find a theme in all of this madness and nonsense and holiday rigmarole is
oh boy.
We got to get to the pours, right?
God, do we ever? I really do think. I think that would be an appropriate use of our time.
Very
I'm into
much
it.
So.
Yeah.
And
Who's thirsty?
I don't know.
should we go? We did the time zone thing last time.
I've been stealing the gauntlet a lot lately, so
Well, then I think Beer Wonder should go first.
What? Oh, I mean, it would only be polite to take that suggestion. Oh, gosh.
Thank you for not embarrassing me, Beer Wonder.
You know, I try. Well, that's not okay. I'm not going to comment further on that. But I mean, I am honestly just a little embarrassed because.
Oh yeah.
I know it's just that everyone's. You see, this evening I will be drinking a
sponsored pour.
A sponsored pour. That would be a sponsored pour from the Beer and Cheese Collective at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens.
And here's the thing, I'm not really embarrassed that I'm drinking from our incredible sponsor because they're consistently wonderful. And the provider does provide. I'm just embarrassed because it's almost seeming predictable now. Like, I feel like I need to vary things up a little bit at some point. But I'm actually really excited about this beer.
So that's great.
I know. It is from a brewery that I really love, Harlem Brewing Company. And it is the Bronze Thunder Twins IPA, which looks kind of like that. It is baseball referential. For those of you who know the baseball, it tells is dedicated to two members of the Negro League and sort of tells their story. It's got a little QR code on the can so you can read more about it, and like just a very baseball-y overall kind of design. So it's just kind of a cool historical beer, cool cause with a cool brewery. So I figure it'd be cool to open it up. You know,
those are all good justifications.
Awesome. Delicious.
Fine crack.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's
here
a
we
mighty
go.
crack, just like a crack of a bat.
Exactly. See, it all comes together, and she is golden.
Oh yeah. Yes, nice and golden.
And it's going, and Elvis has left the building.
There it is.
Oh,
Very nice. That's Phil
It really-
Rizzuto, right?
I
that Phil
don't remember
Rizzuto?
who did that.
I don't know. I don't either, but Phil Rizzuto
We-
is the one who was in the Meatloaf song.
We believe in
That's
you, Huck.
right. Phil Rizzuto did the Meatloaf song.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Definitely wasn't Harry Carey.
I got this here. Who's gonna go next? How are we gonna fight this
or
one
you
out?
want me to go? Or I know you.
Sure,
like to
go ahead.
last. Well, all year this year, I have not had, believe it or not, at a bar anywhere, I have not had a pumpkin beer
What?
Well, it's time
all
It's-
year
it's,
long.
yeah.
And it's early December, mid-December. It's still fall.
Aha, that's
Yes.
true.
Even and the people don't consider December fall, but it actually is. So I have a nice fall beer here. You can see the pumpkin on the cover. This is Java Jack.
Oh,
great.
Oh my
Java
gosh.
Jack from our friends at New Glory Brewing. It is a pumpkin spice latte golden stout.
Ooh, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really a golden stout guy, but I am pumpkin spice latte guy. Not that I drink pumpkin spice lattes. I just like the flavors in my beer. I actually don't drink pumpkin spice lattes. I got my Burlington glass here, my Choir of the Dead glass, which is this. It's a kind of a Pilsner glass, but it's a stout that's advertised on it. So we're gonna
There you
mix
go.
the two with this golden stout. Let's take a look.
Oh wow. Ooh, that is pretty.
That is
Get some
golden.
Golden
And stout-tastic, I would imagine.
and
I do love a golden stout. I love that we can make that because I think the surprise. Oh my gosh, and the head on that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
well, a lot like white chocolate. It's not really a stout. It's
I know.
Right. But if you close your eyes and it tastes like a stout, it's still a stout, I guess.
let's get a nice.
But does
pickle
that count
here.
with white chocolate?
We'll get to that taste test soon. All right. Yeah,
I know.
very nice. Love that can art.
Java Jack?
All right.
All right, Captain. Oh, Captain, my
Well,
Captain.
I am completely non-embarrassed to have a.
Sponsored pour.
That's right, another sponsored pour from the
Good
Beer and
for
Cheese
you.
Collective. I was over there the other day. Got a few wonderful beers. This is a brewery we've had on before, but they're so good. Had to have another one of them. This is from Catskill Brewery. It is.
Oh, I
You
like
recognize that
Catskill.
raccoon there on the can? Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is an imperial stout called the Dixon Home. The Dixon
Oh.
Home. I
Dixon,
okay.
did not do my due diligence research to find out why that is. Maybe over the
How
course of
dare
this,
you.
we'll figure that out. But here we go. 9.2%, by the way.
Nice.
Mhm.
There we go. And here we go.
Ooh,
Now
I like
that
the
is
sound of it.
a dark-looking beer, so that is
A
living
really
up to
healthy
its
head
namesake.
too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
growing.
It's
It's
got a big foamy head. Yeah.
There we go.
Interesting.
so many things happening, and I love the
Dixon
the what
Home.
is it? Is that a who is that? Is that a little
You're
what are
talking
they
about the
called?
raccoon?
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. Yeah, that's their
Yeah.
they don't
That's on all their
Yeah,
beers,
that's
yeah.
that's on a lot of their cans.
Ah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. I think
Well,
we all are well met. So
We have our libations.
cheers, Beer Avengers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Vengers.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm,
Speaking of lack of originality, that's nice.
Wow.
I say that just about every. Yeah. Are you meditating on yours, Beer Wonder? Sound like
I'm
you're saying
just-
sort of. Yeah.
Digging. Just
There's a
digging
lot.
it in.
There's a lot happening. Yeah, I'm just. It's very. It's delicious. It's very
happening
fruity.
here.
A little resiny. And what it's just a really well done IPA, just a really
Yeah.
finely crafted IPA. I did want to just sort of talk a little bit more about the Thunder Twins. So these were Josh Gibson and Walter Buck Leonard, and they were the first two men to play exclusively in the Negro Leagues. They're forever enshrined in the Hall of Fame bronze. They were called the Thunder Twins. They were known for booming home runs and arms like a cannon, apparently, is what they say. So this beer is made to sort of represent and put forward that history. And $1 from this beer goes to not only STEM education, but also inner city educational enrichment and athletic programs. And it's a damn good IPA. So I would drink this at a ball game, no question.
Very nice. I love it. What was the name of the brewery again?
Harlem. It's a collaboration between Harlem and Metier Brewing Company, I believe. Those are the two who are connected to it.
Oh,
Or-
right. You had a Harlem beer recently. Yeah, I like it. All right.
Yep, I very much like Harlem beers. I had one when we came back from NYC Beer Weeks tasting. We actually met the
Yeah.
folks there and had their 125 IPA, and it was out of this world. One of the better IPAs I've had. So these folks know how to make an IPA. And I, of course, historical nerd here. I love any sort of like anything that's connected to something where we can tell a broader story with it. So I would
Yeah.
drink a lot of these beers. It is a short run, though, so you may have to grab them while you can if you see them anywhere.
Mhm.
More particularly, perhaps at the Beer and Cheese Collective. Be a good place to go for this kind of thing. Just a thought.
Definitely, especially
Just a casual thought.
That's where that particular one came from. So I would unless it's, I mean, it sounds like it's such a good beer. It wouldn't surprise me if it flew off the shelf, but that would be a really great place to start to look for it.
Absolutely, no question. So this golden stout situation. Talk
Yeah, I
to
wanna
me.
know.
Are we like how is this like the white chocolate stepchild of like Hershey's, or what's going on here?
Well, we had a golden stout on recently. We
have,
talked
yes,
a little bit
yes.
about golden stouts. They're not technically stouts, but they are designed to feel and taste like a stout, and I suppose it really does. What I get right on the nose is I get pumpkin seeds, right?
Oh,
Like roasted pumpkin seeds,
Oh wow,
and also
sure, okay.
the coffee too. I got that nice. It's like a really
Mm.
roasted aroma coming off it, and in the flavors I get the pumpkin spice, and there's vanilla in here too.
Oh, interesting.
But it is nice. Let me kind of close my eyes and think I'm drinking a stout.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little thinner in mouthfeel than I would expect, and I also don't get a lot of chocolate flavor.
Okay.
On the palate, but it is. Oh gosh, it's made with all different pumpkin spices. Like cinnamon and
Yeah.
allspice, cloves,
Okay. Mhm.
ginger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any other interesting
And-
ones?
There is actually
There's
another one.
nutmeg in here.
Oh, interesting.
There is.
I think
nutmeg in
sometimes you
here,
pick
for
beers
sure.
just so I can play that
Uh,
soundbite. Yeah.
Total coincidence. I've had this beer for a while now. I did buy it
Yeah.
in
Oh,
October or something, and I was going to bring it on the
Yeah.
show, and then other beers jumped the line. So I'm glad we got it on today. I was actually supposed to go out and get some beers. I was going to have some different beers on today, but I didn't get a chance to go out last night. But I'm still glad I had this Java Jack. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And as far as golden stouts go,
Yeah. It looks
I
good.
like this one. I like it. It's
Hmm.
because it's got so much flavor going, and I just love the aroma. I wish I could just. You guys smell that?
Oh yeah.
I can smell it. I
Picking
can
up
smell
that.
it from here.
Yeah.
I mean, it really
a
is a combination of roasted coffee and roasted pumpkin seeds. Which
That's
is
really
funny because
wild.
a lot of time with this pumpkin spice, they don't even put pumpkin in it.
Huh.
And I don't even
That's
know that
true.
there is, but I'm getting it on the nose. And cool can design. Folks at New Glory, they normally don't have too elaborate of designs on the cans, but this one's pretty nice. New Glory we've had on the show
Yeah.
before as well. A couple of times, I think. Really nice brewery out of Sacramento.
Oh, we know
San
them.
Cremento.
San Cremento.
San.
Top of the valley.
I like Sacramento.
yeah, I've
That
been a
that
couple
that,
times.
that little game show
Oh yeah, you were there.
a couple times. Yeah, we were there for that little game show that I was hosting on the internet.
Sacramento
that
was where you
some of
did the Who Wrote the Shit?
that was where we did Who Wrote This Shit. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
And I went to no breweries and also no wineries. It was very confusing. But what have you seen up there, Huck?
I haven't seen much. I mean, I don't really go too often. As I'm in the comedy scene here, a lot of people, there is a comedy scene there. So we
Oh.
have like the great Central Valley is massive. You know, you can see the satellite and the size of it. And it goes, Sacramento's kind of in the north and Bakersfield in the south with Fresno in the middle. So there's a lot of shared, I know a lot of these comedians that travel. I'm like, 2 hours for an open mic? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not, even like Bakersfield. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe sometime.
That sounds like something a young and hungry Huck would have leapt at, but not so much anymore. Huh?
Maybe. Even then.
A young and a hungry Huck.
You remember
Yeah.
we used to have the theater company in New Jersey,
Oh yeah.
Long Branch. I was like, no, Long Branch. No.
Yes. No, I recall. Although you were already getting old then. Just that mentality. There was like,
I was
I don't want
born.
to do that. Too much trouble.
Like Gaga says, I was born this way.
Yes. No, I feel like there must have been an age where you would have just leapt at any chance to get on stage. At some point, you're like, no, that's too much trouble.
And you know what? That's valid.
Maybe.
Yes, it is.
Maybe
It's-
there's a
it's-
short window, very small window.
Yeah, it's
Well-
there is some of us. It's often been described. I often describe getting older as trying to figure out exactly which fucks to give.
Yeah,
And,
right.
sure.
and maybe you'd winnowed that out a little sooner than the rest of
I
us.
think
You were
yeah,
very
I
mature
was
that way.
pretty early on that one. I was in a
Yeah.
I got cast in a play, Shakespeare in the Parking Lot. I don't know if you remember that particular group. You might have done some of their shows.
Now, I never was in any of those, but I have a few friends who were in them.
So I was cast in Taming of the Shrew as the tailor. And the tailor has one scene, you know,
Yes.
there's lines and stuff, but it's one scene in the middle of the play. And I was like, you know, I'm good.
Yeah,
You know, and with theater, you have to make excuses like, oh, even though it's like not paying, but you have to be like, oh, you know, that week I have a thing.
yeah.
But I was just basically back then I wasn't into making excuses because it's like it's just a small role. So I just said no thanks, and they were so mad at me
Were they really?
it-
Wow.
because it
Some people have
it was a friend that was like directing it. They're like, how dare he
Oh.
just say no? Like, how dare I? Like this theater mentality is like if you've got to turn down a role.
Yeah, it's
If
almost
you
like
say,
they'd
like,
rather you decide to show up for a few rehearsals and then decide, nah, not for me, and quit then. No, you're
I
doing them a
don't know.
favor.
I am
That's the thing, but you're doing them a
Exactly.
favor by saying, oh, you have plenty of time to find someone else.
exactly like right out of the gate. I'm like, let me call you right back. Call him right back. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But now when I do that, even like a play reading or something, not now, but like in my later days in New York, I'd be like, okay, let me create a scenario where I'm unavailable to do. I used to just email people back. I can't make those dates work. That became my
Okay,
standard
that's a good one.
answer.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a good way to get out of
But
that.
rather,
without
why
pissing
can't I
someone
just
off.
say it's not paying, so I don't do that? You know, and people
I'm
just
sorry.
don't
Well, I
understand
feel
that.
like
Yeah.
the kids these days, though, are a little bit, kids these days, because now I get to sound like the old one here, but like they're
Right.
much more comfortable being like, nah, it's not enough money.
Good for them.
Like, it's
That's
a
not enough.
conversation.
Wow.
Yeah, like,
Zero
or like,
money,
yeah, that
that's
doesn't
not
pay. That doesn't pay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm only doing paid stuff. Like I feel like I hear that happening, or like, nah, the hourly on that doesn't work for me, and I'm like, okay, well, good on you for like standing your ground. Sucks for me, but good on you.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. They don't even audition. Then is what you're saying. Or do they audition and then decide later? Like, even though it said clearly this is non-paying, it said it's not enough money for me.
I think it's a combination of both. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, I think sometimes it's just like, nah, I'm not gonna go after that because it's not paying, or I'm not gonna go after that because
Yeah.
the hourly isn't good. And like, I've definitely had people who are like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that because you guys aren't paying as much. And I was like, okay, well, great,
Yeah.
bye. I'll go find someone else. Which I hate to be coarse about it, but it's like, yeah, okay, if that's your dividing line, fantastic. I guess maybe that's one thing that being locked inside for weeks on end taught everybody to think about, like, value their self-worth a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think at this point I probably would be like, no, I'm not going to drive 2 hours for a gig at night unless you're going to put me up for the night.
That's fair.
That's valid.
Put you
And
up. That's not
obviously,
bad.
a comedy club is never going to do that, but that would seem to be a reasonable thing to. Anyway, I don't think I've said too much about this.
No, we
this
don't. We
beer,
need to know
though.
about
Yeah.
this
it is-
Talk
raccoon
about
beer.
Catskill.
I don't have a whole lot of original things to say about it, other than the fact that it's really good.
Okay.
It's got that dark chocolate, kind of chicory, almost like a little bit of molasses in there. Just really, really solid imperial stout. The only thing they have listed on the label is the cocoa nibs. But yeah, it is that more that dark chocolate, that rich, a little bit bitter. So not a pastry stout by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm happy about that. It's great.
Huh.
Just like a classic. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like
it's-
everything Catskill does is really, really solid.
I agree. I really used to like their Night Shine, which you had on recently.
Yeah,
The
that was a
black
great one.
lager.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the ones I miss back east. I tell you what, though, over at I mentioned Spokeasy, the bar. They've been having some good stuff over there from back east. I mean, they had Other Half on the other day, Cabbage on tap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it just doesn't happen out here. They're like this weird anomaly. Any
Huh.
bar you go to is like, yeah, we have all these California brews, but in Spokeasy, they're like, we have them from all over.
I wonder if that's also part of the whole thing. I'm seeing more and more. Definitely experienced a lot when I was in Dayton, but I'm seeing it in New York a little bit as well, where a lot of times the breweries aren't actually they're not they're not selling as much to bottle shops. They're like, yeah, you want our beer, come to the brewery.
Yeah.
And the bottle shop itself is like, you want their beer, go to the brewery.
that.
It seems to go
Yeah.
both ways. Like when I was in Dayton, I just found that like a lot of the bottle shops, they would have other Ohio beers. They'd have Cincinnati,
Right.
they'd have Columbus, they've had Cleveland, whatever, but not so much Dayton breweries at the bottle shops or the whatever version of it they have there. They have it all in the same store there together. Beer, wine, spirits, all there together. That's their unique version of that law.
I was looking up your beer. There's nothing on Untapped about the name.
No, I can't find anything either. I was doing a little bit of research about that. The Dixon Home. If anyone out there knows,
Might just be that they have because I remember we were gonna possibly rent a house up there at one point. They have
Oh, right. Yeah.
properties you
that
can
is
rent.
true. Yeah, on
Some
premises.
sort of post-vaccine dream we had to
Yeah,
get a house by the Catskill Brewery,
and
go
then
visit,
and then when we weren't able to all get together, you and Cider Girl said, "Well, fuck you, we're moving then." That was how it happened, right?
yeah,
It was a
exactly.
reaction to the fact
I
that
think
we
we
couldn't all
actually-
make that happen.
I think we actually just went to Woodstock.
That
Okay.
honestly would be an appropriate thing to do.
So what happened by the
Lovely
time you
little-
got to Woodstock?
That was 500,000 strong.
Well, very good. Thank you. Thank you for
Everywhere
not
was
leaving
a
me hanging on that
song
one.
and a celebration.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm really deep in my
that's lovely.
classic rock.
I'm sure that's a reference that I don't know.
Well, you just got to get back to the garden. That's what it's about. We got to
going down
we
to-
got to get ourselves back to the garden.
I'm going down to Yasgur's farm. I'm going to join in a rock and roll band. I got to get back to
There
the
you go,
land,
Aggie.
set my soul free.
And now I'm a little lost, Beer Wonder. So is it the same song?
So,
Same song.
is that the
are
same
we-
song? Okay.
are we
I just didn't
turning-
know-
Are we turning into a beer cast where we recite classic rock as monologues? Is this the new
Well,
progression?
we
Is that
had
like
the,
what happens when we get older?
Well,
we
we're
had
not
the
not
Altamont
about that.
beer recently, so today's
Yeah.
about Woodstock. Yeah, I'm going to go
There
on
we
a
go.
Monterey
Well,
Pop.
yeah,
beer.
it's have that whole yin yang thing where we have the Woodstock and the anti-Woodstock, and I'm glad we started with the anti and went to the good one.
Right on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a lot happening out in the beer venture sphere right now that I feel does need to be addressed, Woodstock or not. And one of them is some sadness for New York City breweries once again.
Oh, man, just happening. It has been a bad year for that.
I know
It's a little bit of a
it's a
trend.
favorite one of. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
favorite one of mine too. It's our buddies at Interborough Brewing Company who are closing up their East Williamsburg tap room, heading upstate for some adventures, and they say there's going to be another tap room here in the Five Boroughs relatively soon. But man, I loved Interborough. I love their stuff. One of the best IPAs I've ever had in my life there. And we in Beer Venture Sphere have had some very fun evenings at Interborough ourselves.
We've also had a lot of their beers on the show.
That's true.
Because we just keep going to it. So yeah, hopefully they'll open up another place in an even better location. At least they're promising to do that. We don't have that with Big Alice. I mean, Big Alice still has a Brooklyn presence, but
Right.
it's not the same. I mean, it's
No,
good that it's there. I should go visit there with you sometime.
We should. Industry
but
City
it's
has
like,
plenty to
great
recommend
room.
itself.
but it's not Big Industry City. It's Big Alice, which just has Long Island City in it, and now they're not in Long Island City anymore. So yeah,
Big Alice. It's named after the smokestacks. Hey,
it is, and inner borough. If it's not in one of the boroughs, what does it even mean anymore?
It's Outer Borough. Then I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. They should change the name to Outer Borough,
Or they could change the name of Big Alice to Big Ice.
Big Ice.
Big
Big Ice.
Drop the L.
Ice.
Because it's Industry City now instead of Long Island City.
Oh, there you go. That
was a stretch. It was a stretch.
Ice.
Yeah, so or maybe yeah. Big lice, maybe. I know. Because that's at least a word, but it's a word anyway. Yeah, you have you just have a small L, a small E, and the IC in the middle. But no, it'll still be Big Alice. It's fine. But
yeah. But no, I was recalling because that, again, they were a great, a little tricky to get to, but they were on a great double bill with our friends over at Grimm, because you could easily strut between the two or stumble, as we did a few times. Yeah, I'm gonna miss them. I remember back when they had their vacuum distiller in there too, and they would vacuum distill hop oils. And
that's
put them in their
right.
beers.
Yeah, they were making a gin, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
good
so
stuff.
yeah, RIP. I hope that they do find their way back because, and maybe honestly, my one complaint about Inner Borough was they were a bit hard to get to.
Yeah,
and
they weren't always necessarily reliable about their hours.
That's true.
Remember that one time we tried to get there? I'm like, nope, we're closing now.
Yeah, I remember that. We grabbed a couple things and ran, and then if I recall, went to Grimm. But
no, we went there after Grimm. This was the time
we
were
did.
there with the Dunkle Dame or whatever the fuck she's calling herself now.
No, I had left on that one. I had already left.
Crazy Lady Dunkle Dame.
Yes.
But the three of us all went over there because we were like, okay, we got to leave now because they're closing at X hour, and we get there, it was like, nope, we're closing now. And so so the three of us wound up at Greenpoint that night.
Oh,
Wasn't that right, Huck?
Yeah, we did. It was a good time.
That was one of our first. Everybody leaves us. That was one of our first outings, though, if I recall, in pandemic times. It was pretty early on for us, wasn't it?
Was it? I mean, I don't. It was definitely post-vaccine.
Yes, because I remember wearing.
None of us had any concerns about being inside.
Yeah, because we had a party at her house a couple weeks later, and
right.
Yeah.
Oh, it was right after I think everybody had gotten the vaccines, because that was the night that we went to Barcade, and then like a couple weeks later, the Delta variant came out, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And so, but it was right as like you were getting the vaccine, and we all thought we were fully.
Do you think this is like mid to late 2021? Is that what we're thinking?
Photo stream.
I was going to say, I bet if anybody went through there on Tapped, they would find it. But yeah, I want to say it was like maybe May or June of 2021.
Yeah.
So we were kind of all back to beer binging a little bit, because I remember
that was the first time the three of us had met Molly in person, or Dunkle Dame in person.
Yep, I had met her once.
Had a name. That's why I called her that one, because at that point she was still just Molly.
Yes, she was unnamed, but yeah. Oh, good memories of that whole area, even if they're questionable memories of that. But yeah. Best regards, Inner Borough. Please come back. Please stay safe. Please continue making excellent beers.
We've all had various experiences since the last time we recorded, but the one thing that just keeps jumping out at me, I feel like we should talk about, because we plug it all the time, and when it happens, you guys need details. We did have a Stoutapalooza a couple weeks ago in honor of Father Brown Stout, and even had a group toast for the last beer I found in his refrigerator. It's pretty great. We went through 20 beers. We didn't plan it this way, but there were 10 bottles and 10 cans.
Oh, I did not realize that we did it with that kind of efficiency, but I'm proud of us.
Yeah, me too. In fact, I would say one of the best ones we had was, and I like to put these things in front of the camera, even though as we do them, we rarely show all the video things we reference, so you just have to
True.
imagine this. But this is it was the Evil Twin Great Northern.
Oh yes.
I think it was. I was looking it up. I believe this is volume 22 of the Great
Mm.
Northern, and it is it's a it's a not a giant bottle, but it's a full size bottle because for a while all the Great Northers were coming in these like little tiny cans,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, I
5
remember
ounce
that.
cans. But I'm glad we had
Yeah.
enough here because that meant we had enough to share with everyone who was there at the time. There were at least 4 or 5 people there at that point. And just I feel like I don't really dunk on Evil Twin, but I know I've said a few things about how some of their things they're focusing way too much on the sweet, but they can
Yep.
still really bring it when they maybe they want to all the time, but they still have some pretty great skills there, and that was a great beer. It was the one point in the evening where I had to shush you a little bit, Beer Wonder. Do you
Oh
remember?
really? No, I don't.
Wow.
What was I
No,
saying?
Beer Wonder.
Well, no.
Oh no, I do actually. No, actually, I do remember what I was saying,
You know,
and you said,
yeah.
"Please." Yeah,
So
I know
we
exactly
started
what you're
because
talking
it was
about.
one of those things where we got it at the bar, and I didn't realize how expensive it was until I bought it, and I said, "Well,
I want to
guess
hear
I'm
more
putting it on the
about
card and I'm
this.
getting it." I know, and so but so he was there when I bought it, so he knows how much
Yes.
it costs. But
Yes.
when I'm having a stout at Palooza, I don't like to talk that much about how much any of it costs. I don't want to put unreasonable expectations. If someone's favorite beer is a $7 beer, if their favorite beer is a $40 beer, I don't want there to be any of that sort of prejudgment before you taste it. And you
Right.
started to say, "Oh, is this that beer you paid blank for?" And I said, "Shh, keep yes, we can talk about that later. Be quiet."
Yeah,
But
that was an auspicious day of beer buying because I think you went in wanting the beer, and then both of us got a little sticker shock when they put it on the bill. We were both like,
Yeah.
"Oh." Because Evil. I don't. Where does Evil? How does Evil Twin publish their prices? I don't know. I'm trying to.
The thing is, they will publish their prices for the cans because for whatever reason they will deliver their cans, but they won't deliver their bottles.
Right, that's what it is.
You have to go on premises to buy the bottles, and sometimes I see the prices listed, sometimes I don't, but generally you have to go to the have it delivered or buy for pickup.
Yeah.
And so then you're paying for them online, but they won't let you pay for the bottles online. But
Right,
anyway,
right.
it was well worth every penny, and I'm glad
It was
everyone
delicious.
enjoyed it so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I also, what was the remind us what the beer was that was sort of our toast beer.
Oh, it was from Lakewood Brewery in Texas. It was called the Bourbon Barrel Temptress,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it was from 2019.
Oh, the Temptress, yeah.
And it came in a very sexy box.
Yes, yeah. Really, really great beer. I was probably at least 12 in at that point, so I should have taken tasting notes but it was the having everyone share that. Maybe we'll put that on our Instagram. There was a picture of all of us toasting that one together.
Well, and Huck and Cider Girl were even able to join us virtually for that one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Timed it out well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
you guys didn't make the selfie.
I have no record of that night when we went to Greenpoint, unfortunately, in my photos.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty
Sad.
sure we posted something when we were at Grimm of the four of
Check
us.
my gram might have
but
more information on that.
It's possible. Or if anyone out there listening saw it on our Instagram, you can just reach out to us at our various ways to reach out to us at the Beer Vengers on the, all the socials except for the one we don't like.
Except for the X.
Yeah, they suck. They just suck. But that's enough about that piece of shit.
Strangely enough, though, it's still a place where more you can get a lot. If you can weed through it, you can get more of the truth in journalism. Oddly enough,
I mean, I believe that the truth is there, but how do you?
I mean, as opposed to our mainstream media, which is sort of skewing things in a certain way.
Sure, but the problem is there's no filter for the bullshit. So
There's
you're
no filter,
looking
right?
at stuff on the Twitter, and you can
gotta-
find the good ones, but there's a lot of bullshit
you have to-
surrounding it, and so
you
then
have
you
to know
have
who
to
to
do that
trust.
much more research to figure out which is right and which is just someone who
Right.
gave Elon Musk money.
Well, I haven't used it in years. Actually, I haven't used it maybe 4 years now.
Yeah,
Because I used to be pretty.
I do
addicted to it.
check in on the X's a bit, or the Twitters or whatever we're calling it now. I don't know.
I went so
just
long that my
because,
account deleted itself.
Oh wow. Well, the
Just
Beer
like said,
Vengers are
this
still
isn't-
technically on there. Maybe
Technically.
maybe your account was doing you a favor that it's like
Yeah,
you know
it
like,
really
this is-
did.
You don't
really did do me a
you don't
favor.
need this
I
bullshit
could start a
anymore.
new one, but I'm just gonna try to live IRL from now on.
That
You're
is,
being hip now, Huck. You're using the kids lingo.
Yeah,
Lingo.
I think it's
And
are
that
the
means in
kids
real
still
life.
using that lingo? Because I know that one too. If he and I both know it, it may not be that hip anymore.
if
but
we
we'll
know
see.
it, this might be
So
over.
I
yeah.
did. I did learn a new one that
Oh, yeah?
I need to let's see what we can do. BFFR. If someone texts you BFFR, what do you think it means?
Best friend forever, right? Just my first
Huck.
guess.
That's
Huck.
where I would go. A BFF was best friends forever, but
But there's an R at the end of it. BFFR.
might mean something else. So
See, I initially
fucker, right?
Oh.
be fucked fucker right. Honestly,
Be fucked fucker
Huck, you're
right.
on the right path. So when I heard this, of course, I went to BFFR means
Friendly
best.
realm?
There you go. I went to best friends for real, obviously. For
Yeah.
real.
Ah, okay.
FER.
Okay.
Very important. Very
Yeah.
important that you get the fur in there. It's the Midwest coming out in me.
Right.
And the 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds at the place where I earn money, of course, laughed at me because now I am the old man among them, as I'm proud to be.
Right.
And what I learned is that as BFFR means be fucking for real.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not like be fucking like the verb of fucking for
Not
real.
actual
which
fucking,
all-
rather than
not
don't be
actual
fake
fucking.
fucking. No, don't
Yeah.
simulate your fucking. Do some
Don't
actual
simulate
fucking.
the fucking.
Yeah,
do some
no
actual
fucking
fucking.
for real.
Be
Yeah.
fucking for real. Yeah. So it's about like are you being like like oh my god what the fuck, like it's kind of that kind of thing. But so yeah, be fucking for real, BFFR. But of course, because now I can't let up with that, I only use it to refer to how that we are best friends for real and not just like a work situation thing.
I don't
And
know.
the
Who's
youngsters
saying
find
this
me
phrase?
exhausting and hilarious. These are the children, Huck. The children
Do
that
they
we
look
must.
at a couple of? Do they like? Is that like the new get a room?
No,
When you
it's
see
not
a
even
couple
that.
people canoodling in the corner, BFFR.
No, it's not that. It's like oh, I got into, I don't know, I'm making a terrible example of a person who might be in their like late teens. I got into this college. You'd be like, oh my god, be fucking for real, or tell me the truth, or
Ah.
like that's it's like that kind of thing.
I
Be fucking
gotcha,
for
I
real,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
it's an
Okay,
exclamation
I fuck with that.
and not a like get in a room situation. I'll fuck with that.
I fuck with that.
There's actually a Leonard Cohen song just called "Be for Real." I wonder if his original draft it would be "Fucking for Real." I don't know.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that where the kids got it?
Be
From
for
Leonard.
real.
No,
Yeah, that's it.
well, there is a Kenzo song apparently, and also now I just googled it because
Kenzo.
I wanted to make
what's-
sure I
what's a
got ahead of my
Kenzo?
hookups. I don't know, who even knows Kenzo B, but BFFR can be used to be like kind of get real with yourself about a specific topic. Apparently, that's what Urban Dictionary is telling us. So I feel like the kids these days, they know what's up. They're on the right track, and they need to BFFR.
Okay, that's the name of the episode. That's at this point.
Perfect.
That's the name of the episode. Be for
Be
fucking,
fucking for real.
Speaking
BFFR.
of
Be for
beer,
fucking real. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Be fucking for real. Anyway, but beer and being fucking for
I
real
was,
about beer.
I was lucky enough to get a series of beers last week from Spokane, Washington.
Oh my gosh!
And,
What were you doing in
so I
Spokane?
haven't- I was not there. I was in my home, but I was on our other podcast with the Globe Hopper just last night, actually. And we spoke to the brewer from this particular brewery. It's called The Grain Shed. And we had
the
a beer
Grain
from them
Shed.
called Purple Egyptian. And people were talking about this one, Sonora Wheat. And I'm not normally a Belgian wheat guy, but they were talking about it. And I was so impressed by this brewery. And they also have a bakery. And all their grains are like come from right there. They're in, and their hops
wow.
are just all from the Yakima Valley. Like really, really cool brewery. I was like, wow. I mean, I wanted to go there. So anyway, I wanted to promote them here. The Grain Shed, Sonora Wheat, and
Oh, cool.
So cool.
It's crisp, refreshing beer with notes of orange and wheat cracker. So he said it's a Belgian wit style. The brewer said, I got my old school Astoria beer and cheese glass. Oh, it has that
Oh my
gosh.
Belgian wit look to it right away.
Oh yeah.
Not especially too much head, but there we go. It's starting to develop in our glass here. Yeah, nice haze to it. Got a little orangey aroma coming off the top. Let's give this a try.
Very good.
Wow.
Oh. Oh, wow.
We believe.
Very, very orangey.
So
Like
it,
a
it
lot of
looks like it
orange from
tastes.
it.
It tastes like it looks.
It does not strike me as Belgian style.
Yeah.
Very, very much like homey, like really real. You know what I mean? Like,
For fucking real?
yes,
Be fucking for real.
Yes.
There we go.
EFFR with this beer. It's like
The FFR.
like you can feel what the brewers are selling. You know what I mean? Like it's like direct. It's almost like that direct
Yeah.
feeling from what do we call the big things? The tank, from tank to glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really get where they're going. And really interesting brewery because they really concentrate on the grains. Because as we know, a beer is a grain beverage. Hops are like the main
That is
thing
true.
that people talk about nowadays. But the grains, so they're really
Mhm.
grain-focused brewery, especially because they're a bakery as well. Really cool place, the Grain Shed. If you go to Spokane, I highly recommend getting over to the Grain Shed, even though I've never been to Spokane. Oh, I should do my photo.
Well, I
here.
guess that needs to be our next trip. That'll be the next
I
Revenge
have
trip
been to Spokane.
Yeah.
I have actually
Yeah.
been to Spokane, believe it
been
or
there?
not. Yeah. I have been to
Well,
Spokane.
I'm lucky to have
I was there
few
for
other beers
yeah.
from them too, from the city.
I was impressed. I remember being impressed by their beer scene while I was there, and that was almost a decade ago. So, good on you, Spokane.
Well, I also have a second pour coming up.
No
and
way.
it relates directly to Stoutalooza because, as I mentioned, we went through 20 of them, which meant I still have a ton of them there. So I'm not going to make you play the song, Huck, but we're
I'm
going to be
impressed
spending
by
some
the
time.
that you went through 20.
Well, thank you. So essentially, now I'm going to be doing a version of the Captain Cellar, probably a lot because there's so much there. Again,
There's
you
so
don't
much
have
in
to
the
play
Captain
song.
Cellar. Yeah.
I might plug it in at some point. But so we talked on previous episodes about this beer from New Image in Colorado called "This Is What Happens When You Find a Stranger in the Alps." Now we did drink
Yes.
this one at the party, so
We
I
did.
don't have that one because I'd already had one of those. But they also had another one that we never got to at the party that is also
What?
a Lebowski themed beer from the same brewery, and that is called Brother Seamus.
Oh.
And this is
Okay.
whereas the this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. I mean, find a stranger in the Alps.
Mhm.
It was a White Russian milk stout. This is a mudslide milk stout, so it's also a
Oh my
cocktail
gosh.
based one, and
Wow.
with lactose, coffee, vanilla, and Irish cream, 10.5% ABV.
Golly and gosh.
See how it mixes with the silt left over from that Catskill beer. Yeah, that's right. I'm not even
Sure.
rinsing it out. Here we go.
Yeah, why not?
Oh my. Whew.
Very subtle nose
Woo-wee.
there.
Yeah,
Very
there's
subtle
a
head.
lot happening right there.
It's
Yeah,
coming to life here at the end. There it is.
right. And let's take a look. There we go.
Gorgeous color.
Brother Seamus.
Wow.
Indeed.
Outstanding.
Congratulations.
Okay, yeah, definitely sweeter than the other one, but that milk sugar really doing some nice work there. The coffee is strong. Yes, a little more pastry than the other one, but really solid. Like it a lot.
By the way, Grain Shed, mad low ABV, 4.7.
What? That's
Shouldn't
very
even be drinking
surprising.
it.
Well, I guess not. What is
And
So
to
wit,
get back
right?
to Java Jack was 6.8. So
There you go. So nice little balance there. You're showing more restraint than I did.
So Huck, what have you been drinking on the Best Coast?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, I have my what we're calling them around here, my Tower Nights. I've been doing
Okay.
stand-up comedy and doing pretty well. Very pleased with my progress. in that arena, and doing a couple of different comedy shows. There's one called the Sweet Spot, which is at a place called Frez Brew. Frez Brew, which sounds like a great beer bar, right? And it is a beer bar. And
Yeah.
every week that I've gone there, there's been I think they had like 8 taps, and then I went in one week and like 2 were out. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Then I went in the next week and 4 were out. And then I went in the last. I'm gonna go there tonight. Actually, let's see what it looks like. But I went in the other night and it was down to 2 taps, and they were both Graveview, which are my friends.
Okay.
Jason and Jason from Graveview. So I texted Jason. I said, "You got a tap takeover here at Frez Brew." And
there you go.
Cold IPA, which was nice. So I'm a little worried about Frez Brew. I think they might not. There's something going on. I don't know. I mean, to just every week to have less and less taps, it seems a little suspicious.
Well, I guess we have to plan a trip to come up and visit you soon before Frez Brew closes.
I wouldn't, shout out to Frez Brew, but I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
They're
well,
not
I'm
one of
sure you'll
my-
have other places to take us.
They're
but-
not one of my core places. To go.
Yeah, I think
Nice
I just said that
people
because
there,
I'm ready
but
to get out of New York for a little bit.
Their beer. I would love you guys to come out, of course. But I was at Strummers, which is another place that I go, and Strummers is a rock club, right?
Okay.
And they have a regular bar, and most nights there's not a rock show, so you just can hang out at the bar. And they have a pretty good beer list, actually. I've had some really decent beers there, and I came across a beer over there that I was just so taken by, and it was called the Mexican Fruit Salad, which right away is a great name. And it was from Central Coast Brewing, which isn't really one of my favorites, but this one really got my attention. And what was interesting about it was late in the night when I discovered it. So sometimes if it's late in the night, I don't know what I'm drinking. I think the captain could attest to this.
True. Well, I mean, it's exactly what I said. Like, I remember having the wonderful warm experience of sharing that bourbon barrel Temptress with my friends and all of us, toasting my dad together. But
Yep.
I also
Right.
don't remember that much about how it tasted.
I got you. Yeah, exactly. So like the other night I was at Goldstein's and at a late beer, I had the Fremont Dark Star, which is one of my favorite beers.
Yeah.
It's an Imperial Stout. And I mean, I guess I don't really remember drinking it. I should have just had a lager, but anyway, this ultra fun and delicious delight is often served and consumed outdoors, blah, blah, blah. This is the thing. I knew I was buzzed, so I took photos of the description. But I just wanted to describe to you the special ingredients. Mango. This is a lager, mind you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Mango, pineapple, lime zest, chili peppers, and sea salt. Okay? Which is like, this sounds
Okay.
like too much. But the peppers just had that kick.
Yeah.
That not like this is too much, but just that perfect kick to just like lift
that
that
sounds
lager
wonderful.
up and just almost like wake you up, like, whoa, and with the fruit flavors and the fact that it was a lager. I mean, this beer, wow, it just like really took me by surprise. And I was really quite pleased with it. The Mexican fruit
I'm going to
salad.
go out on a
Shout
limb
out
and
to
make a
Central
really
Coast
bold
Brewing.
statement. I am pro pepper in beer.
Oh, yeah.
There, I said it.
I feel that. I feel that.
I don't know who cares. I don't care who knows. I don't know who cares. Or care
I'm
who
pro-
knows.
I'm
Either
pro
way,
pepper
both
too.
of them together.
But I have had some
Yeah.
that were too much.
Yes,
And I've also
yeah, for sure.
had some that sell it with peppers and then don't deliver. And this one
Yeah,
just hit that
It's kind of
sweet
disappointing when that
spot.
happens.
It's that sweet spot where it's just like every sip is like, oh, thank you for that little
Yeah.
zest. It was a fun beer. I hope. I mean, I'm going downtown tonight. I might go over to Strummers just to see if they have that one still.
Yeah,
But been
excellent.
going to Gold's, and that was the highlight. I think was the Mexican fruit salad. I gave you guys the
Excellent.
rundown of Phoenix and Boston. That was a big travel. The previous episode.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we mentioned this. I discovered a couple days after Stoutapalooza that I had COVID, and I probably had it at Stoutapalooza. Thankfully, no one else was.
Oh my gosh.
Walked away. Yeah, no one else walked away positive, but
Yep.
so anecdotally, but not scientifically. So don't say this. No one used this for the whole thing. Is that, well, as we were talking about earlier, and Huck was saying that one of the great things about the vaccine is that it's much more manageable if you've been vaccinated, but
Right.
also based on this purely anecdotal experience and not by any science that I've read anywhere, I'm wondering if it's becoming less contagious. But I'm not saying that it is.
Yeah,
but fortunately for us, it wasn't contagious that afternoon.
Yeah, or a bunch of us done got our shots, and that also is
Yeah.
helpful too.
Yes, that's also it's a possibility. But yeah, fortunately, it was just me. But because of that, I haven't really since Stoutapalooza, I haven't really been out and about too much. I did go to a thing a few nights ago because, well, I'm not actually allowed to say this on here, so I'm going to say it in a coded way.
Okay.
Someone who looks like me may be on the nominating committee for some awards that are happening.
No one
therefore-
knows what that means.
Yes, exactly. So but I'm not allowed to talk about that on social media. I'm allowed to tell my friends, but I think this counts as me telling otherwise, so I'm being careful. And so I went to a thing the other night, my second COVID-free day, where it was this, got to see the cast of Saturday Night Live. Unfortunately, there was a 2-hour open bar before you got to see them. So I remember sitting there and listening to what they were saying, but I honestly can't tell you what they were saying. I'm helpless when it comes to an open bar. It's
oh,
like,
hell
okay,
yeah. Fuck yeah, my
like
dude.
yes, honestly, if I knew,
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
yeah, honestly, if I knew
sexy.
that's what if I for sure knew that I was getting, I might have even showed up an hour into it just so I would actually have the experience more. But that was nice. The other thing with all of that is I've been watching a lot of TV with my friend who looks like me, who's on a nominated committee for something I won't name. And so I'm trying to just sample stuff here and there because there's no fucking way to watch every TV thing. But there was this one show I saw. There's like a lot of, as much as I'm not a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think I'm kind of a fan of the unofficial Apatow Cinematic Universe. Because there are certain things you can see, people whose comedic sensibilities were formed working with Judd Apatow, even when they go on and they're producing their own things, it has that same DNA. And right now on Apple, there are 2 TV shows from Apatow alumni that just feel like Apatow shows, even though he has nothing to do with them. One is a thing with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford called Shrinking, and the other one is the main leads are. Oh, is it? Because I've only seen like 2 episodes. Should I keep going with that one?
Love it. Probably one of my favorite.
All right, I'll keep going with that one.
Sitcoms of the year, or short form comedies of the year for sure.
Excellent.
Great writing.
Have you watched
Great
Platonic?
Acting. Shrinking's like up here. Platonic is okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
I will probably keep watching both of them, but the reason I bring up Platonic specifically here is because I don't think I've ever seen a show before where one of the lead characters is a brewmaster at a microbrewery.
Yes.
Oh no! Look at that.
Very and very on point. On point as well.
Yeah, it's like every time you see Seth Rogen in his bar, in his brewery, he's holding a tulip glass full of stout.
Yeah.
And other people have other things, but yeah, it's like it's what I love about also on like episode 1 or 2. It shows why the best time to be at a microbrewery is at like 2:00 in the afternoon on a weekday, and the worst time to be at a microbrewery is when they say they're having a party. Like I don't. It's because like that was like the first time you see him. It's like him hanging out with his friends with like maybe 1 or 2 customers, and they're like, "Oh, you should come to our party on Friday night." You go to the party, and just like it's just an annoying mob scene of idiot LA people.
Yeah, there's the
so it's a different flavor of douchebag, but yeah.
The main story is the 2 of them are best friends. One's a man and one's a woman, and so there's like this: is there sexual tension? Is there not? Etc. But and they just are bad for each other in that they get into a lot of trouble, but they're also best friends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, there's a B story of him being the brewer that will not compromise and will not sell out. And
Right. Yeah. Because there's like a
that whole
fast food
storyline
place
is
that wants
so
to have
great.
one of their. Yes. Yeah. It's great.
And his partners are like, we want to actually make money in this business. He's like, I want to have quality beer.
It's pretty great.
So I do love that
aspect of
character
it.
just for that. Yeah.
So yeah. So and in a general sense,
It's
you're
called Double
recommending
Nickel
drinking
Brewing, was
more,
it?
but I think it's called Lucky Penny.
Lucky Penny. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. We got double
So
nickel.
yeah. So for those of you who are just consumers of television, shrinking is better. But for those who want really some craft beer content, you got to see Platonic. So I've been sitting home watching some of those, but I also have something that I've been planning for a while that I'm doing.
Oh yes, this is exciting.
That I like. I literally.
So it'll be after this airs, right? This will be after this airs.
Yes. So I can talk about it because it is a secret to one of our regular listeners and a beer venture very close to me. Is that early November? I read this article in the New York Times about this place in the Catskills. Now, go a Catskill reference. Maybe I should find out how close we are to the Catskill Brewery.
Oh my God,
maybe I should visit it while I'm there. But anyway, what they do is they have these. It's I mean, it's the most literal version of farm to table you've ever seen, and the fact that the table is actually in the farm. So farm table.
Mhm.
There's not even two table because they're a brewery. They're a fermentery, as they call themselves. They brew their own beer. They grow their own produce. They have sheep. They hunt deer and rabbit, and they have these pairing dinners with 38 people. That's it. It's a 38 person reservation, and I'm reading about this in the New York Times, and I'm thinking,
is it Stone Farms or something like that?
No, it's called Bovina.
Okay.
And I'm reading this, I'm thinking, this is just got to be ridiculously expensive. This is one of those crazy rich people things to do. And then I look it up, and I'm not going to say what the price is in case it's going to sound like I'm just doing it because it's a bargain. But I saw the price. I'm just like, well, I can do that. So I made a reservation in early November for December 16th for most of their dinners are seasonal dinners. But this one is specifically a holiday dinner.
Oh,
so that is I have no plans for Christmas whatsoever. But on December 16th, I'm going upstate with the Belgian Babe to have a holiday dinner pairing at the Bovina Fermentery and Farm, and I will talk about it on the next episode. But
that's awesome.
Really, really looking forward to that.
Oh, great!
Also,
great.
not just taking advantage of the fact that I own a car now.
Hey, you're welcome to come out for the holidays. It's kind of late now to get a flight.
Yeah, I think January will be better. I think it's easier to get away in January.
That sounds like a better option.
I like, yeah.
But yes, we should do that. Yeah. Well, honestly, because I will probably be working the week between Christmas and New Year's, but it's been really easy to get out of work in January because nobody is working. Nobody's coming. No. People are working. No one is coming to my place of work.
Yes.
So yeah. I see. I before you play us out, Huck, I just want to. Is there any other beer venture business that we need to talk about at this point? All right, you're just really enjoying.
I was just
cradling your electric.
Record, I started rolling my eyes at the guys. I'm just kidding.
He did, and I deliberately ignored you doing that.
I know. Well, the only beer venture business I would say is, but Captain, my Captain, if the people want to find us, where do they find us?
Well, get that little @ symbol and write The Beer Vengers, all is one word. And lots of fun stuff will pop up in your search. But really, if you go to thebeervengers.com, you get all the pour picks. And sometimes I'll even put some stuff on Instagram. I'm getting a little sloppy about that. I'm going to try and get better about that. But the Beer Vengers at gmail.com if you want to do traditional email. If you want to just slippy slidey down into our DMs there, we're there on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're sometimes on TikTok. Huck, have you been on TikTok for us lately? Should we put more stuff on there?
I'm taking a TikTok hiatus. Yeah, put it on. I gotta say, we're also on all the places you can find your streaming Spotify, and
That is true.
Yeah.
iTunes. And
Yes.
we're out there. We're out there in the podcastiverse.
And if
The
somehow
Beers-
you don't know
Beer
how to find us and you're
Vengerverse.
still listening to us, but you can't find us, I mean, explain us. Send us an email. Tell us how that actually happened,
How
and
did
we'll
that
get
happen?
there. But if there is a favorite thing of yours where you like to listen to stuff and we're not there, tell us, and we'll do what we can to get there. But no promises, because
Right
we're
on.
not fucking miracle workers here. But
Another great
but
episode.
yeah, and have. Yeah, I think it was a wonderful episode. And everyone out there, just have a wonderful holiday season.
For the
Yes.
record,
Now you are rolling your eyes. Now Beer Wonder is touching his head.
Face palm.
What's on your mind, Beer Wonder? What inspired this face palm? Because you were like
Oh,
almost
just-
over and they're still talking.
No,
Is that what-
just all of the things. Just all the things, gentlemen. We are the pinnacle of beercastiversing, and I'm proud of us.
we're gonna get a guest. We're gonna
I'll
get a
say
guest
that.
next week. Next week we have a guest.
We need to get a guest.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do that. Have a few options. If not, it's just gonna be us again. So if anyone out there wants to be a guest, reach out and we'll talk to you. And that's
Right on.
that's a wonderful end to note it on. I'm just gonna say that every time now. That's a great end to note it on.
There we
You
go.
can decide on your own whether I'm saying that on purpose or whatever. All right, Huck, play us out. Thanks everybody for
Right
Oh my
listening.
God.
Thank you. Bye. We're the beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the beer Vengers.
Yes, we are.